Yo guys, want you to permit me ask this question. Does our constitution by any chance, by any case, have relationship with the truth, or it is based on assumption? I'm asking this because I was watching the judges who are defending Gachagua in the courts of law and what they submitted, and the movers of the motion and what they said. I was just reflecting and asking myself, does the constitution have a relationship with the truth, or is just things are done based on who is moving the motion, or who is removing somebody, or how much you have? So I want you to help me. Maybe you can leave a comment in the section below, because I got the feeling that as citizens of the Republic of Kenya, maybe there's somewhere we need to understand before we proceed, so that in the future, when such kind of things happen, we are likely to be able to, take our time and reflect and make possible solutions to know how things are going to proceed for the favor, progress, growth, development of this Republic of Kenya. We are Kenyans and we have to know things. If the constitution is standing in for truth, assumptions, evidence, allegations, or how much you have, or which position have you taken in the government, and or who is supposed to be removed. Take a moment, guys, and leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you're thinking.
Let's face it. The process of 18th October 2024 took 6 hours as a deliberate scheme to defeat each of the principles and values of good governance I have alluded to: transparency, accountability, procedural fairness, and public participation. Who did these violations? We are also here to call people to account. Who did it? Between the time we left Senate around midnight, between the time Senate closed business around midnight of 17th October 2024, and the time we woke up to the presidential communique of 18th October 2024, in that night, the Bishop Oginde-led Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is documented in the President's memorandum to have received, processed, and given a clearance to Honorable Kithure Kindiki. That night. My lords, history is important, and I may not remind you why our constitution prescribes that our presidents be sworn in during the day. We were all adults, we know where that comes from. It's one of the most autochthonous provisions of our constitution. And therefore, when things happen in the night, we have reason to have our antennas high. Between the time Senate rose on the night of 17th October 2024 and the time we woke up in the morning of 18th October 2024 to the President's communication to the National Assembly, we were told that the IEBC, which we now know is not properly constituted, has no commissioners, had purportedly cleared Honorable Kithure Kindiki in the night. I will not say much about KRA because I think KRA can work overnight and we will not complain. But it was that memorandum. The other culprit was the president himself. The president of the Republic of Kenya undertook these clearances overnight and in the morning had a clear proofread memorandum. Exceptional efficiency, we celebrate that. Parliament. Then the National Assembly itself. Now, this is curious. The National Assembly itself had called a sitting prior to the resolution of the Senate. The sitting was called prior to the resolution of the Senate. To sit on a day, ordinarily not a day of sitting of the National Assembly, to process a resolution of Senate it had anticipated, the removal of a deputy president from office and processing clearance or approval of another deputy president.
The deputy president remains in office. There is no vacuum, there is no insecurity. My Lord, the best guarantor for security is observance of the rule of law, constitutionalism, and the Constitution. And this is the court that has that weighted duty of ensuring that that happens. The people of Kenya, in electing the deputy president and the president and the senators and everybody else who is elected, they were not electing to go back to imperial presidency. And it is for this court to ensure that we do not go back to the imperial presidency where the Constitution and the rule of law are replaced by the wishes of one individual. I hand over to my colleague Elisha Ngoe.
I have said the children of the children of Rigathi Gachagua, they are in, I think one is in his early 30s, the other one is in his late 20s. Whether there is an age limit for somebody to obtain a loan of 700 million, no, there isn't an age limit, but the guess, yours and mine, how many children of that age in the Republic of Kenya would have security enough to secure a loan of 600 million? Because to secure a loan of 600 million, the bankers tell us that you have to place property probably that is 10 times more in value than that. When did they acquire that property? Number two, it is not our evidence, and this is important for me to clarify, that Abadea's Safari Lodges was acquired through a loan. It is an explanation that we have discounted. He said that they obtained a loan of 600 million, but the only document that was produced is an offer letter for the loan. There is no evidence to show that the loan was granted. There is no evidence to show any charge on that loan. And therefore, it is our contention that that explanation is not conclusive. That explanation cannot suffice. And therefore, it goes back to the deputy president to tell us where he got the 535 million, where he got the 143 million to buy those properties, because the loan is not substantiated. Senator, in terms of Olive Gardens, we have been able to show Julian Jahenda, the one managing the hotel and the one working in the DP's office, is one and the same person. Jomo, we bought the hotel on a promise that the deputy president, the truth of the matter is that
conclude, Honorable Mutushi.
Jomo bought the hotel
2 minutes to
as a proxy for the deputy president. What problem do we have with refurbishment at the office of the deputy president? We do not have a problem with the tender, we have a problem with the priorities. Kenyans today, and the deputy president is talking about it, are crying about services. Is it a priority to renovate the office, or is it a priority to give water to the people of Kibwezi?
I want you to take my colleagues' submissions where they say you cannot undo. Once a new candidate for deputy president is nominated and sworn in, they say the court has no jurisdiction to undo that appointment. This is what they're telling you. You cannot undo a deputy presidential nominee who has been sworn in and has taken office. This is what they're telling you. At any length, they tell you, this is a political question, don't even look at it. That's why they began. Don't even look at this. The president knew what he was doing, take him at his word and at his actions. So that's one side of the balance, of the scale. On the other, you have a sitting deputy president who is before a court of law, as he ought to be. If, in the unlikely event, his petition were to fail, all he does is go back home and we swear in the new one once the petition is dismissed. But conversely, if you swear in a new deputy president, you kick in motion a whole series of events, including a president, a deputy president, who is now exercising constitutional mandate, who is chairing cabinet committees, that may ultimately be found to have acted outside the Constitution of Kenya. Let's not be in a rush to undo the timelines given to us by the Constitution.
People. Paragraph 72 of the motion before you states that His Excellency has persistently undermined, demeaned, and committed insubordination instead of assisting the President. And let's face it, Mr. Speaker, sir, distinguished senators, if you accuse somebody of insubordination, the only person who can complain of being insubordinated is the supervisor. No statement from the President, no affidavit from the President, even no witness summons to the President has been sought here to call him to complain he has been insubordinated. The Deputy President, when he received this motion, wrote to the Secretary to the Cabinet requesting to be supplied by all assignments given to him by the President and any that he has not delivered. To date, as we stand here, we have not received a response to that letter. And yet we shall be told, just believe the mover of this motion, the member of parliament for Kibwezi West constituency, that when he is oscillating between the National Assembly and Kibwezi West to serve his people, he knows better than the supervisor of the deputy president that the deputy president has insubordinated his boss.
We talk about politics, business, religion, relationships. You can catch our videos on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. To watch our videos,
subscribe and turn on the notification bell.